What you're about to hear is strange, it's sudden, and it left even skeptics at the time without a clear explanation. There are no cameras, no proof in the modern sense, only eyewitnesses, and a man whose life was completely turned upside down in a matter of minutes. This story takes place in Rome, in the middle of the day, in a church that was quiet, ordinary, until something happened. Something that, if true, challenges what we think about belief, about the mind, and about what is possible. By the end of this story, you'll have to decide for yourself, was this a moment of divine intervention or something that can be explained away? This is the story of Alphonse Ratisbonne. Alphonse Ratisbonne was born in 1814 into a wealthy Jewish family in France. His family was proud, respected, and firmly secular. He was well-educated, well-connected, and confident in his beliefs, or rather, his disbeliefs. Unlike his older brother, Theodore, who had converted to Catholicism and became a priest, Alphonse wanted nothing to do with religion. He made that clear. He once said, "I hate priests. I hate their cassocks. I hate their faith." He didn't believe in Christianity, and he especially didn't believe in miracles. In 1842, Alphonse was 27 years old and engaged to be married. Before settling down, he decided to take a pleasure trip around Europe and the Mediterranean, a kind of extended vacation before his wedding. His journey took him to Italy, including to the city of Rome, and that's where everything changed. While in Rome, Alphonse met an old family friend, Baron Théodore de Bussière. De Bussière was a Catholic and a friend of Alphonse's older brother. Despite Alphonse's dislike for Catholicism, the two spoke often. The Baron even made him a bold offer. "Wear this miraculous medal," he said, handing him a small Catholic pendant, "and say the prayer on it once a day. That's all I ask." Alphonse laughed but agreed, more as a joke than anything else. He wore the medal and said the short prayer without any feeling. On January 20th, 1842, the Baron was preparing a funeral for a friend. He had to stop at the church of San Andrea delle Frate in Rome to make the arrangements. He invited Alphonse to wait for him inside while he spoke with the priest. Alphonse entered the quiet, empty church alone. It was around 1:30 in the afternoon. What happened next is what turned this quiet vacation into a global mystery. He stood there for a moment, looked at the architecture, the paintings, nothing unusual. Then suddenly something happened, something he did not expect. He later wrote, "I felt seized with a great trouble. I raised my eyes and saw her." He claimed that right there, near a side altar, he saw the Virgin Mary. Not a painting, not a statue, but a real living figure. She didn't speak, she just looked at him. But in that moment, everything inside him changed. Alphonse collapsed to the ground, overwhelmed with emotion. When he came to, he was crying. According to witnesses, he rushed out of the church and said, "Take me to a priest, I want to be baptized." This was not a gradual conversion, it was instant. Within days, Alphonse received religious instruction, confessed, and was baptized into the Catholic Church. He said he now believed everything he had once mocked. The teachings, the Eucharist, the priesthood. Even those close to him were shocked. News of the event spread quickly, especially because of who Alphonse was. A wealthy Jewish man, publicly known to be anti-Christian, suddenly converting in one afternoon. It sparked fascination across Europe. Even Pope Gregory VI took notice and called it a great miracle. Alphonse didn't stop there. He gave up his marriage plans, gave up his inheritance, and he joined the Jesuits, became a priest, and eventually, alongside his brother, helped found a religious order dedicated to praying for the conversion of Jews and non-believers. He spent the rest of his life in missionary work. So what really happened in that church? Skeptics have offered a number of theories over the years. Emotional stress? They argue that Alphonse may have been deeply conflicted internally, especially given his brother's conversion and his interactions with devout Catholics in Rome. The vision might have been a kind of psychological breakdown. Autosuggestion. Some psychologists say that repeating the prayer and wearing the medal, even mockingly, might have influenced his subconscious. Light and shadow. Some suggest he may have seen a reflection or statue in a certain light and misinterpreted it during an emotional moment. Religious conditioning. Others believe that cultural pressure and exposure to religious imagery may have triggered an extreme response. But critics of these explanations point out that no signs of mental illness or instability were found before or after, and the transformation he underwent wasn't temporary, it lasted his entire life. His friends, even non-religious ones, described him as completely sincere. Today, the church of Sant'Andrea delle Frate still stands in Rome, and near the altar where Alphonse had his experience, there's a plaque marking the spot. The same Miraculous Medal he wore is still made and distributed around the world. Some say his story was just that, a story, a product of its time. Others say it was a moment of divine mercy, proof that miracles still happen. One undeniable fact remains: the event left a mark, not only on Alphonse, but on every person who studied this case. It's still cited in discussions of Marian apparitions and religious conversions to this day. So what do you think really happened inside that quiet church in Rome? Was it a psychological break, a trick of light, or something that can't be explained? There are no recordings, no video, no photos, only testimonies. Only the story of a man who walked in one way and walked out forever changed. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Was it a miracle, or was it something else? More importantly, what would you have done if it happened to you?